So she said, goodbye comedy. I won't miss all of you self-censoring wimps. Samantha Pressdee says she's leaving stand-up to find a husband with balls. Now, like, we can go through and, like, nitpick this, but I really more just enjoyed it as a piece of comedy. Like, I don't think she meant for it to be hilarious, but it's absolutely hilarious.
I don't understand what the different, so she's leaving comedy.
Yes.
To find a husband.
Because as we all know, right, when you do something as a job, you can't date anyone who doesn't do that as a job. You couldn't just, like, meet a guy with another job and carry on being a comedian. No, you've got to find a comedian, lock him down, check for balls, okay? So, I'm leaving live comedy to find a husband with balls! It only gets better. As a single woman looking for love, I thought I would meet lots of sexy, funny men on the live comedy circuit.
Have you seen comedians?
Also, like, you started... Yeah, straight up. Like, you started your career being like, oh, I bet there's a lot of fuckable dudes here. I'm like, well, there's your first mistake.
No, I don't understand.
Yeah, no, have you seen comedians?
Don't get me wrong, I love Jasper Carrot as much as everyone else, but Casanova, he was not.
Jasper, oh my God, I've not thought about Jasper Carrot since I was like... I had a tape of Jasper Carrot that I listened to when I was 9, and I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard.
Jasper Carrot was great.
He made a joke that's never left me. Like, as a 9-year-old, I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard, about how much of your life you spend doing different activities, and you spend one full day in your entire lifetime having an orgasm. And he was like, no, imagine if you could have that as like one day. Just one day of like, I straight up thought that was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever heard in my life. I don't think it would be funny now. Anyway.
Nice up-to-date reference there, Fred. Thanks.
I know. I'm like, genuinely, is he still living?
He's still alive.
Yes!
He's 77.
Legend.
And his name doesn't come up as red.
He's not got a red name. So if he's being problematic, he's doing it in his local pub. Love that for us. Anyway, right. That has been a bit of a derailment.
Sorry.
On we go. We only got 2 lines in and we ended up on Jasper fucking Carrot. You see, this is the problem with the patriarchy. You can't talk about women for 1 minute. No, I'm just kidding. So, I have only... Okay. Fuck this article. I thought I'd meet lots of sexy, funny men on the live comedy circuit, but I'm left disappointed, frustrated, and unsatisfied.
Carrots, once again derailing the convo, hairy.
I've only ever slept with one male comedian, and he wears a dress now. Massive turn off. It's well known that after you bang someone, they need to continue being your type forever.
Yeah.
Great. Where are the alpha males? Where are the men who unapologetically say what they think? Where are the heroes who take a stand for freedom of expression? Not at a visual arts festival. Not at an arts festival, ironically.
What? Ironically? That's the last... What?
What are you doing? Making people laugh? Pathetic. You're supposed to be making a stand.
Exactly. There aren't a lot of knuckle draggers at arts festivals. I'm not going to lie. They're usually quite, like, you know, intellectuals.
Or like to think that they are.
Like, if you want an alpha male that drags his knuckles behind him and leaves 2, like, fucking...
Woohoo!
2 footprints and 2 lines either side of him because he's got, like, hairy knuckles, just go to the fucking builder site.
TLDR, no one thinks I'm funny, so I'm quitting and blaming everyone but my shitty scripts.
The saddest bit is if she wrote this as a comedy piece, it would have been great. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. With balls.
Right, she's only shagged one guy, no alpha males, right? As a divorced woman who lives alone, I felt lonely being a comedian on the road. No shit. Rarely did I see the same people twice. Yep. That's a problem with the job. I found it hard to get to know my peers and make friends. I wonder why. The Edinburgh Fringe was my respite from a solitary existence. There was more sense of community with something for everyone. I saw the festival as a place to freely express myself and find my tribe. Unfortunately, the post-pandemic Fringe didn't feel free anymore. Jerry Sadowitz was cancelled and hardly anyone took a stand. Jokes used to be accepted as jokes. Us clowns are supposed to be the only ones who can make fun of the king. Morality police now dictate we what we can and can't say. The culture of comedy has become so dysfunctional, it's unbearable. Comedy has been castrated. There is no potency, no joy, no truth, or no risk or substance. We now live in a bizarre backwards reality where politicians have become comedians and comedians have become politicians. An Orwellian nightmare where many comedians call themselves artists. Well, I'm just consider myself a clown. While pushing an ideology that aims to curtail freedom of expression and women's sex-based rights. I wonder if we got a little turfism in there, darling.
I just looked up Jerry Sadowitz. His shows were cancelled over extreme racism, homophobia, and misogyny. So, I quote...
Extreme racism!
Extreme racism. Okay, cool. A large number of people walked out of Jerry Sadowitz's show as they felt uncomfortable and unsafe to remain in the venue. We received an unprecedented number of complaints that could not be ignored, and we had a duty to respond. The subsequent abuse directed at our teams is also unacceptable. Yeah, so there you go.
British people being like, I'm British because they drank the tea. That I liked. That was a good joke.
Didn't Sadowitz get cancelled for getting his junk out on stage? Oh,
that's possibly also true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
who's
fucking...
to say?
No one stood up for Jerry Sadowitz as he sig-hailed on stage. Goose stepped away.
You used to be able to be extremely racist because everyone watching was white.
Carl Coleman! Tier 2.
Legend.
My favourite American gym bro. How you doing, dude?
Oh, yeah, baby.
The flames.
Many comedians are compromising artistic integrity for industry popularity. Impotent men have to pander to warped feminist ideas to avoid the fear of being labelled a misogynist. Mollycoddling women have to bow down to the trans lobby, pushing the idea of a utopian ideal of self-ID for being feared of for fear of being labelled a TERF. Then the working class, who maybe still have some semblance of vitality, are being pushed out because it's too expensive. Well, I like the idea that she's like, now the real bigots are the working class. I'm like, don't turn on the working class and say, I thought they were going to save me by being extremely racist, just like Jerry was that time. Maybe Jerry's the only one she ever banged.
Maybe.
Conspiracy theory begins. She banged Jerry, and I will say he looks like a crypt keeper.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, chat. You know, she was like, where are the alpha males?
Poor
Where are
Jerry,
the alpha males? They're
representing the alpha males.
Jerry Sadowitz, most handsome comedian.
Award-winning.
Award-winning.
I feel like I could really help him with a little concealer. Just a little concealer. We could really do something here. Maybe some eyebrow plucking. Yeah. Looks like he's melting. Anyway, they're not getting past the middle. Okay, so they're being pushed out because it's too expensive to do the French. That's a reasonable thought. Or if they are just not getting past the mostly white... no, she does not say white. I put that in there. Mostly middle-class moral gatekeepers unless they toe the party line. Okay? God. We're left with a community of self-censoring wimps with limp dicks and dry pussies. We're checking your moisture level before you're allowed in. I'm too young to be in this kind of sanitized environment you'd find in a nursing home.
Well,
Quick.
actually, my wife tells me that women's pussies do not get wet.
I do want to say as well that people in nursing homes are famously banging non-stop.
Yeah, they are.
So don't you start sanitizing things. Apparently, they're all giving each other diseases non-stop.
The STDs in old people's homes is disgusting, honestly.
Vile. Freedom has been compromised for the illusion of safety. She's like, I never felt unsafe, so it didn't exist. Political correctness has taken the fun out of funny. Oh, a cutting line. But what happened to an industry that gave us Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, and Bill Hicks?
George Carlin, famously bigoted.
Everyone famously hates George Carlin and Bill Hicks.
Oh yeah, George Carlin. He was definitely hated the working class. He was very... Dude, George Carlin was about as left as they come.
But I think this is all because she can't get laid.
No, definitely.
The beginning was, I can't get laid. I've only fucked one guy, and I thought I was going to fuck loads of guys.
Unfuckable hag. Quits comedy. Slept with too many men who had no balls.
No, she only got one.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine starting an entire career to get laid and you sleep with one guy.
Dude.
Ugh.
What the fuck?
You could at least be going after the creepy men who hang around after your show, but no. Today I learned that Jerry Sadowitz was an old music video by the Shaman. I've never heard of any of those things.
I know.
I barely remember a music video.
I know of him because I recognise his look, the hat and the hair. Mm-hmm. But
he just looks like a zombie or a dead guy out of an old, horror movie or something.
If old Greg died.
No, don't an old Greg. Evangelists of identity politics do not stand up for the marginalized group they purport to defend. They will attack women if they're the wrong kind of feminist. Tough. They will ostracize trans people if they don't agree with potential changes to gender recognition laws. I'm like, wait a second. Are you saying that trans people who are on your side, like the unwoke trans or something? I'm very confused by that point. If they don't agree with potential, they will discard working class people if they're not socialists. I mean, how would I know if you're not a socialist? I'm asking that. Chat, I've got my dick hardness measurer here. I've got my pussy wetness measurer, and you need to give your socialist card in before you can enter the show.
It's like ding, ding, ding. Yes, there's plenty of moist gusset too.
Oh my god, dude. I mean, she's not getting laid often. She's been doing this long enough that there's like 4 socialists in the UK. Yeah, literally, it's just me. I brought Fred on board.
+1.
The 34% wetness bar is relevant. It's absolutely insane, the idea that like everyone's so woke and all this stuff, and I'm like, babe, have you been to the UK? Tally and Evie, that's it.
That's all of us.
That's all of us. No, I'm just kidding. Just to be clear, I am joking, but yes, it is definitely not the standard, even amongst comedians. In fact, most comedians are just liberals who will be like, oh, well,
great.
Bill Gates should pay his money.
She's literally looking for she's got Shinigami eyes installed just to look for the red names. She's like, yes.
Follow. Yeah, it's so weird as well, because it's like you're just really bad at networking. There's so many bigots out there.
I mean, Jimmy
How have
Carr
you not even found the bigots?
Jimmy Carr is definitely like up there.
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't want it.
The bigotry Olympics, yeah.
He's not interested. He's already married. She's mostly there for her husband. We cannot forget the fact that while there were absolutely bigoted comedians, she's not being able to fuck any of them, and that's what's pushed her over the edge. The only people who are down to slam are the wrong political agenda, which really says a lot about us. The ballless. Yes.
If you want clever comedy with a message done well, I recommend Bill Burr. Yeah, and George Carlin's really funny.
But she doesn't want that. And also, Bill Burr would not have sex with her. She's heartbroken. She was like, come on, Bill, let's go. And he was like, no. Thank you. And she's not emotionally recovered from that. So, blah, 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 gender recognition laws. Babe, this isn't what I'm here for. Been vocal on changes to more gender recognition laws. Dude, what is this? This is why she's so worried about the balls. An anarchist trans woman punched a grandma. What?
Grandma shouldn't have been chatting shit then. Grandma should have kept her mouth closed.
Also, you can be a grandma pretty young.
Yeah.
You can be straight up 40 and be a grandma. Yeah. And if you're telling me that I can't take a punch in only 8 years, wrong. Okay. Many debates have been cancelled by lobby groups under tries of, oh my God, we've fallen into transphobia, blah, blah, blah.
We've gone full time.
Now with Dave Chappelle, she just couldn't hold it back. She literally was like, you see, the problem is, trans issues. And I'm like, stop.
I mean, honestly, people always say, like, it's not even a problem.
She tried to hold it back.
There's very little transphobia in the UK. And I'm like, it's fucking everywhere, dude. This woman's so mad that she can't get laid.
I used to adore something about J.K. Rowling and the media now. Oh my God, Dave Chappelle. I want to hear more about your flaps, love. Anyway, it was really funny until she let loose. Until she could not hold it back any longer.
She could not keep her mouth closed. Holy shit.
I think her being like, no men want to sleep with me. And they're not manly enough. And now someone's wearing a dress.